Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, I thought this was rather amusing. You may have heard about it over the weekend. And what had happened was Donald Trump had not done any pressers or media events or engagements with the media or answering questions out there in the limelight, as it were, out in the spotlight. And so the natural conclusion by the left and others, of course, they knew very well that he was perfectly fine, of course, jumped to conclusion to suggest, exaggerate, and sensationalize that maybe something had happened to Donald Trump and, of course, had experienced something that would have caused his demise. But this is the way it works kind of within the social media circles and so forth, content creators and such. If we don't hear from someone after a certain amount of days, then we get a little concerned about their well-being. We just recently saw that with Tim Pool, for example, or with other prominent creators. There's often that idea that, hey, man, something must be going on. We haven't heard from this person in a while. And, of course, Donald Trump is known for being out there all the time because despite the fact that the left says he does nothing, the fact that he's out there all the time suggests that he does, in fact, do plenty. But nonetheless, from ground news, we have Trump dismisses health rumors as fake news. Donald Trump responded to speculation about his health on social media by saying, "He has never felt better in my life." In a recent Truth Social post, Trump recently carried out over 24 public engagements and held a cabinet meeting on August 26 before his schedule became uncharacteristically quiet, which is uncharacteristic of him to do. While Trump's spokesperson reassured the public about the president's health, the indication that he was prepared to take over if needed heightened speculation. So it was kind of they kind of took it with a tongue-in-cheek approach as well. And as we can see here from ground news, the bias distribution, this was covered across the board because, of course, it was kind of a bit amusing for some, but others. So from Mediaite, the far left, without a doubt, Fox Peter Doocy confronts Trump. "How did you find out you were dead?" So he's kind of playing off of it, at least Peter Doocy is. Fox Peter Doocy on Tuesday asked President Donald Trump about the social media speculation that he was in failing health or possibly dead. Through much of the holiday weekend, social media had erupted with speculation that Trump hasn't doing well physically. Oh, well, I thought I was losing my mind, but it's the way things are written, I suppose. The speculation arose due to the fact that he didn't make any public appearances in several days, a rarity for the president. Press pool photographers caught glimpses of Trump golfing over the weekend, but those sightings were minimal. So they didn't do a lot of coverage of it. It was kind of amusing. But we'll jump over here to Eric Doherty, where we see Peter Doocy confronting Donald Trump on this particular speculation and rumors.
How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see it for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I didn't see that. You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said, there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an interview that lasted for about an hour and a half with somebody, and everybody saw that was on one of your competitors. I did numerous shows and also did a number of truths, long truths, I think pretty poignant truths. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that I own pretty nearby on the Potomac River. And no, I've been very active, actually, over the weekend. I didn't hear that one. That's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty amusing nonetheless. But, yeah, Trump handled it very well. I thought it was kind of funny. And then, of course, Jake Bro, who I follow, who covers all of what's going on there in Ukraine and with Russia. Of course, he had to come out and put in his 2 cents by saying, did the Russian poison Trump in Alaska? People are asking the question. No, they're not. You're just raising the question is what you're doing there. But I thought that was kind of amusing. I considered responding to this, but I didn't see any reason to because clearly he was going for he was just putting in his digs, too, if he could. And then, of course, here we see from some of the posts over the weekend the tactical dog out, and they're just showing all the different things about Trump and the left celebrating any potential that this had happened. Of course, this was just their little celebratory football spiking, as it were. And you can find a lot of these across the board here of them going through here and then making all sorts of speculations and rumors and so forth. So it was kind of amusing, despite the fact that the reality had to there was a break from the reality of it all. But it is interesting, and I couldn't help because I'd seen this post today. Details are vague. Let's jump to conclusions and push a far-right agenda. Now, this person could be being a bit tongue-in-cheek himself, or I assume him. I don't know. G-Man. The G-Man reminds me of G. Gordon Liddy. But nonetheless, So as I said here, the left never does that, or the media. Yeah, because obviously they do this quite often. And so I made this image here of the young Scottish girl who was standing up for her cause. And I made this on TikTok, too, and actually received a community guideline strike because one of the points I made, and one of the points I make often here, is that these migrants, they don't have any allegiance or loyalty to these countries that they go to. And their religion allows them to retaliate if you offend them. So as we see the rioters here in the United States as well, and this is why we see the Democrats coming to the defense of criminals and or rioters and so forth and so on, is because they make up a great deal of their constituents. That's their constituents. Those are the people that vote for Democrats, right? And so we see this across the board. But, of course, the left had to have their fun over the weekend, and this was something that had happened. And actually it backfires on them because the reality is that nothing really happened with Donald Trump. But it also suggests and does exemplify that he does do a lot. And as he said there, we would go weeks without seeing very much about Joe Biden at all. And so that was very common then. But as we always know, the left always accuses everyone else of what they themselves do. And but with Donald Trump, this was just something kind of an amusing thing that happened over the weekend. And media, being very left, decided they would jump in as well, just like Jake Bro did here. He had to jump in on this too. But nonetheless, guys, let me know down in the comments section if you had heard about this over the weekend or were as amused by what it all had happened. Let me know down in the comment section. But I do want to thank all you guys across New Tech, BitChute, and Rumble for your guys' continued support. What an amazing 2025 thus far. Can you believe we're already in September? Just absolutely amazing how far we've come and how far Donald Trump has come. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. And, of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include my affiliate links. You guys know how all that works. But, of course, your likes, your shares, and your comments help out the channel tremendously. So thank you so very much for that. And, of course, everyone here on YouTube, you guys have been amazing. And appearing there on the screen, speaking of YouTube, that's going to be the channel icon for everyone watching on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.